I'm peeling back the curtain right away. You don't get even a second of rest from this. Sipping down my damn pineapple Trader Joe's seltzer water, which I like very much. Um, I should probably post this on Instagram too, but that means I have to get up. Well, no, I don't have to get up, but I do have to turn. Um, and that is a little difficult for me. You see, ow, ow, my back hurts because I'm an old man. And I got out of bed weird this morning, and apparently that is enough to hurt my back a lot. Um, so I kind of tweaked it. Um, okay, I'm gonna post this. Yeah, you guys get to see it all. Okay, I'm not one of those streamers who cares about things like privacy. Um, or being entertaining. um, silence, silence. That must be really entertaining for you. Let's play some music. At least. All right. Two more seconds. Where is my stream? There it is. There we go. Okay, one more sip. My sweet, sweet seltzer. Okay. Um, so this is my crazy. You don't. You can't currently see quite how many windows and tabs I have open at the bottom there, but let me get rid of the music for a second, or the music graphic, so I can show you what all of that looks like. Um, there's some projects that you haven't seen yet. Um, there's my my infinite VTuber. That's what the program is and looks like. Here's OBS. So yeah, just really peeling back the curtain. No pretense. Also, if I get rid of the chat, oh well, you can't see it right now, but there's my color wheel and stuff like that when I'm inside. If you were curious, my VTuber is still blocking a bunch of it, but anyway, none of that is particularly important. None of any of this is particularly important. In fact, we're working on Krampus page 24, which is actually page 26 or something, and we're almost done lining it. This is what it looks like when I haven't lined anything yet. Or here, I'll show you the full sketch page. So what I do is I draw it out, and then sometimes I just copy the little model sheet that I made. These are also where all the model sheets live right now on this file, and it's pretty disorganized. I'm considering mirroring Krampus 3, and maybe the other ones too, I guess, on Tumblr, or maybe just incorporating these elements into the website, on my website, whichever comes first, because I wanted to add like little character descriptions for all of them, and I wanted to do like a cute sort of old style webcomic style thing. I also might incorporate like an Ask blog element into the story at some point. It would probably only be brief, but that is to echo what this project used to be, which is a thing called Trick that I made 12 years ago for my friends on fantento.wikia.com. Anyway, the process, if you were curious, is I draw it out like this. Then I go into here, Photoshop, and do all the text, and then I put the text into its own layer, export it as a PNG, then bring it back into Sci, because I dislike the brushes in Photoshop that much. And then I do the panels and the bubbles first, and then I start doing the actual lines, and then we'll color it. And then I'll probably go to bed, but I might play a little bit of the video game. We will see. But yeah, this page introduces Krampus's cat. His name is Ulysses, and he's very large. He is about as large as Santa, who is like 7 feet tall. So that's awesome. He had a cat the whole time. All right, let's actually draw something. Rudy, you gotta draw something. Oh shit, I gotta open my soundboard, show you what that looks like. It's the least important thing. Yeah, there's lots of guys on here. Oh, here's Corn Pop from the other day.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
There's lots of good ones. Oh, there's this one of Donald Duck that's like 30 full seconds long.
Oh my God, I feel so good. Oh yeah, oh slow down. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Oh my God. Oh yeah, play with my balls. Play with my balls. Oh, that feels so good. Yeah, just roll them around in a circle. Oh my God, I love it when you. Uh-oh, slow down. Don't move. I'll go get you.
That's just how I'm feeling. I don't know.
I just be fucked up in the crib.
Alright. Let's get to it. But lollygagging. So yeah, what I do is I zoom in real close. And then I start doing this. And undoing and undoing and undoing. And it's thrilling. Thrilling content. I'm sure is very interesting for everyone. Maybe I should just do it like this instead. It's no secret that I'm excited about my stories, probably more than anybody else is or will be. But I'm very excited about this. I've certainly been and I mean I always kind of do this, but I feel like especially with this I've been drawing it out. Like it took them 25 pages to actually get to the Halloween party that the whole thing is about. Which in most other things would frustrate me, and I'm trying not to have double standards for this just because it's mine. But I don't know. I have a couple very specific things that I'm trying to do with this, and that's the best way that I think I can get there, even though it has some downsides narratively. But hopefully it's been fun. If you have no idea what this is, then I'm sorry, and probably you don't actually. Probably you don't know what this is. This is my comic that I'm making and posting on my various social medias and on tuckerwoolley.com/holiday-theater.html, and theater is spelled like theater, not like a movie. Well, some movie theaters are spelled like theater, but with the RE, spelled with the RE. And it's about holiday mascot characters going to a Halloween party and having to deal with their complex social politics, and then something, I mean, nothing goes wrong. Nothing bad happens to them. Nothing horrifying. Of course, we're not there yet. We just got to the party because I really want to give us some time. It's got a kind of a big and frankly very frustrating amount of characters ensemble cast is what they call it in the business. And what I call it is fun writing wise, but not fun drawing wise. Well, it's fun drawing wise, but it is a lot. It's me having there's just a lot of fucking guys in this. There are arguably too many guys, and there's this isn't even all the guys, if you can believe it. Almost, we've gotten the majority of the guys into the narrative, but yeah, no, this isn't even all of them. It's crazy. Why did I do this to myself? Why am I doing any of this? It's the kind of night, it's a hot Wednesday night. It's the kind of night where you question your life decisions a little bit, but you keep going because that's all there is to do. Had a bunch of errands today. I had to get up at like 9 in the morning, which for me is very early. For normal people, probably not, but for me that's pushing it a little bit. I had to get up and have a Zoom psychiatrist appointment, which was me talking to a guy for about 15 minutes and him being like, yeah, we'll just continue doing what we've been doing. I'm like, yeah. And then many hours later, I had to go to a free clinic here in the Los Angeles area, so that I could get my blood drawn routinely, and that also only took like 15 minutes, but because I don't drive, I was going on the bus, and to breach my area of the San Fernando Valley that I live in is kind of tedious, because the buses are not super well connected once you get into the valley proper. So it just took a long time, and so that was most of the day. It was me just on the bus. Some guy took a knife out, not really threatening anybody with it, but he was just sort of cleaning it, rather conspicuously, and I was just kind of like, okay, dude, I get it. It was a nice knife, though. I don't really know what the difference between the knives are, but this one like folded out a little. Krampus has a giant cat. Yeah, the Yule cat. This is a real thing. I'll show you a picture of it a little later. How did that work? technically the first time I'm drawing him, or I guess up there with the groundhog was the first time I was drawing him, but he is very fluffy. I'm probably gonna get real tired instantly of drawing all of his fluff. A lot of these guys have already changed quite a bit from how I originally started drawing them, you know, mere single-digit pages ago, but I guess that's what making a webcomic is. I always like how, in animated things at least, how I notice it a little bit less in comics, I think, generally, but I always like how in animated things change over time. Even if I don't necessarily agree with like how they changed, or they weren't decisions that I would have made. It's just cool. Shows you that there were people who were making it. Instead of robots. I have to remember where his little socks are. Like fire, not like tail. Trying to make it so that his like hand is kind of plush in the fur, but I don't know if that looks weird. These hands are I made them this way so that they would be easier to draw, but it's actually kind of challenging. Like whenever he makes a fist, it's very weird things happen. And I don't even really try to make sense of it. I just kind of do it. Have his little fangs poking. It's kind of cute. Okay. Oh, almost drew on the wrong layer, God forbid, and heaven help me. I might put a little, like, I think this would be cute. Have I done that before in this one? I know I've done it in the prequel to this. There we go. Doing the talk bubble tails is deceptively difficult. Oh, I should be playing the Krampus playlist. That probably would have been a good idea. I could still do that. Just let this one play. This looks okay, I guess. I don't know shit, man. Okay, now we draw him properly, and I also have to make some decisions about what Krampus's room looks like, because as you can tell, I did not make very many decisions about it in the sketching phase. So, and once again, I'm going to put that off until the last possible second. So, that's how I roll. I feel like I've made him look maybe a little bit too different in his sort of chibi model, distance model form. Like, the rest of them kind of look the same every time, but Krampus looks a little bit different. And I'm really just doing it based on vibes, as you can probably tell. Because sometimes his eyeballs are like this when he's sort of chibified, but sometimes they're like that. It's really just whatever expression I think is funnier, honestly. hurts, guys. I'm an old man. Might be too small here for his own good. Let me change to the playlist. I made this fucking huge 10 hours long Halloween playlist. A lot of these were on the playlist that I made for the original version of this project as well, that I have adapted into this sort of ultimate playlist, or at least that is the goal. But this is what I like to imagine is playing when this Halloween party is going on. Meaning that Krampus and I have the exact same taste in music. Or whoever made this, it doesn't necessarily have to be him. If you look closely at some of the songs on this thing, they sort of foreshadow things, at the very least in like a thematic level. But hopefully when this whole thing is said and done, which I have no idea when that's going to be. This rate, fucking never. But hopefully in hindsight you can look at it and be like, oh, that's kind of neat. Hey, what the hell? That's what he sounds like. My heating pad turned off. I need it. Wow. Made his arm too long. I very frequently forget to draw his wings. So maybe together we can do a quick wing check when we're ready to color. See, I almost forgot just then. You saw it. This is my little cheat that I do with the wings oftentimes. how exactly they have the leather of his costume on them, the wings, when they're sort of floating there, I couldn't tell ya. But maybe it's holiday magic. I think I like that. I think the brush is even a little bit too thick, so I'm gonna do a different one for Ulysses and hope that it doesn't stand out too much. Oh, the pain. Holiday comic, Halloween comic in April. Because that's how we do things here at Tucker Woolley Incorporated. Ulysses is based rather heavily on my ex's cat, whose name is Braun. And he's a very good boy. He used to be my cat for a time. Oh, he is scrungly. Why is his face like that? Oh no, I'm going to sneeze. My body is threatening to sneeze. Dear God. But it's edging me. I can't. It's not letting me. That's weird. You ever get that? Actually, hold on. Let me... be a little strategic about this. Want to at least, well, I guess I kind of want to do that with the rest of the body too. So I'm gonna do the parts that I don't care if they're totally symmetrical right now. Retconning the cat in, because unfortunately it was kind of a retcon, I won't lie. It's a little clumsy on my part, but hopefully it scans as something Krampus would do. Let's withhold his cat until his giant cat, in fact. Until absolutely necessary. He's a little weirdo. Okay. There he is. It's a little off center somehow. Is it? Might be crazy. I think that looks okay. I don't know if the problem I just had made any sense to anyone else, but I suspect that there's going to be a lot of those tonight. Oh, also, I forgot again. To do his little socks. This file is background elements that I can copy and paste so that I don't have to draw them over and over and over. There are some of those on this file too. Again, I really need to get my shit together with my files. This project in particular. Probably use this picture of him as the quote-unquote model sheet, which I say quote-unquote because it's not, you know, it's very informal, and it's just one of each guy pretty much, but I may make a little sheet for all of them that I keep just for myself. Probably my favorite song on this album, if I had to choose. And he doesn't have it in the middle, does he? Okay. Oh, I gotta do that, though. And his primordial pouch. And these, yeah, this fucking cat is gonna get annoying to draw. Very quickly, I have a feeling. Get them a little closer. The brush size is bothering me a little bit, but I'm not going to redraw it. My God. What am I? A masochist? In some ways. But in other ways, I'm profoundly lazy. And it's impossible to tell where I will draw that line at any given moment. Because I've got to keep you on your fucking toes. There we go. Then we can merge the boys. And then, do I even want to move them a little bit? I think I kind of do. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Yeah. Probably a lot of you who draw like normal people, normal people scare me. Not like that, but you know, people who have like optimized their process. I mean, I've optimized my process in ways, you know, for me, but I very profoundly don't expect those methods to make a lot of sense to anybody else. And furthermore, I think that a lot of them are actually very inefficient in the grand scheme of things. And I have always worked this way. I don't, well, not this specific way, but I have been doing it this specific way for kind of a long time, but you know, I used to do things on Paint. I'll show you real quick. And I wouldn't even use the pen tool like this very often. Instead, I would do it using the polygon tool, which I think is here now. And I would meticulously, first I would do this with a mouse, but then when I got a tablet, I would do it with the tablet. I would very, very meticulously click and drag, and then I would go in with the pencil tool and do that to touch it up. Sometimes if I could achieve what I was going for with the pencil tool alone, I would do that, but the process of like fixing up these little bits was very tedious to me. Which is why I don't really use the like a total bitmap brush anymore, except for, or a binary brush rather. I don't use that very much except for Shitbird. But I still do get like rather zoomed in and granular about it in ways that I probably shouldn't for my own sanity and productivity. Ah, a work chat. For my job that I still haven't gotten paid for. And is probably a pyramid scheme, guys. I'll be honest. Nothing if not honest here. At Tucker Woolley Studios. In reality, I think Santa would be a lot taller. I mean, obviously, he would be significantly taller than any of these other guys next to him, but I still wanted him in the frame without him like taking up the entire frame, so I just put the top of his hat for simplicity. The sizes in this will, if you were the kind of person who was angry about like the size differentials in Steven Universe, for instance, I would not. I'd maybe skip this comic. I think that will save. Okay, now the hard part. We make some decisions about his room. Or his bedroom, rather. Okay. What does that look like? I guess maybe we should pull up some of the rest of his house. Most of this story is going to be taking place in the living room here. But he's got like a kitchen and I made like a floor plan at some point. I don't know where that document went though, which is another reason why my shit is disorganized. But he has like a main living room that kind of like the cave just opens up onto that because you can see it in some of these other shots of the living room when they're coming in. And then he has a little kitchen and a bathroom and I think his own bedroom that's at least partially walled off, but I think probably like not entirely walled off. It's kind of like a studio apartment, even though it is a big old cave. But my question is, well, okay, so the bed, if the couches are not ice, then the bed is not ice. I've decided. At first, I was like, oh, Krampus doesn't have a bed frame. Of course Krampus doesn't have a bed frame. He's not the kind of guy who would have a bed frame. He's kind of just getting back on his feet still. However, will that read as a bed? I suppose we could do our best to make it so. And he's got no windows in here. Because it is a cave. Yeah, probably no windows. Keep making micro decisions here. Oh no, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. And it didn't happen. Didn't happen again. Weird. Alright. It's bedtime. Yeah, I think we're just going with a mattress. Gotta make sure to put some icicles in front of some of this to create the illusion of depth, which is a little hard to do in this fully blue cave that I've set myself up for. Could maybe have not done that. Making things better or easier on myself is something that I'll do kicking and screaming. Okay, we'll try to remember to recolor those later. Okay, so he's got like Single pillow here. Your dog literally could turn into a cat on Halloween. Just in case you didn't know. Yeah, because it's like, I want his place to be shitty, but he also wants to impress these guys, so I feel like he's taken some effort to spruce it up. So yeah, I think his bed sheet is like, New Year's Eve is a bore. I like the sort of it could become a sardine, you guys. Your teacher, I think is what he said. I like how many like weird judgment calls this song makes. And it also said my favorite line just now, which is begin the begin. Unfortunately, they don't have the original Tim Curry version of this song on Spotify, which sucks. Yeah, it's like very slightly unkempt. Because, yeah, he's trying to make these guys think that he's got his shit together a little bit. But I think he's only willing to put in so much effort in order to do that. Yeah, no bed frame, no bed, you know, legs. For this bachelor. Would he have like a little nightstand? Probably not, because his bed is not elevated. I always end up making a bedroom just look exactly the same as my bedroom, no matter whose bedroom it is. Here we go. Just noticing little things that I'm embarrassed about. Little imperfections. I mean, the whole thing's an imperfection as far as I'm concerned. But that's okay. See, they're a lot closer than that. There we go. Okay, his room. Let's make some decisions. Is it walled off anywhere? I feel like he's probably got some posters up. Or something. Um, I also abandoned the funny little apron real quick. And I did not show where that went, but that's fine. His room. Yeah, I guess maybe... What would it look like if it was walled off a little bit? Because it would be ice walls for sure. Right? Maybe you could have one of those, like, those old Japanese, screen things. You know what I'm talking about? No, it wouldn't go like that. Doing these little lines is hard because you want it to look straight, but not too straight. Maybe it's like unfinished slightly. But would that read all? So like I also have to remember that he does not have the internet anymore. Or he doesn't have like a personal computer device. I think like maybe he goes to the library or something. And has like a supervisor. He has to be like chaperoned on the internet, like he's no, I don't think that's really working. Well, I don't know. Let me do this with a thicker brush. I probably should have figured this out before I started streaming. But when I draw slow, you can like really tell that that's what I'm doing. For better or for worse, and usually for worse. In my onion. Yeah, like Ulysses is kind of in the way, so you can't exactly see, but I think, like, maybe the... He was kind of, like... I think the cave is mostly empty, so all the ice stuff he has to, like, build up, almost, which is kind of defeats the point of it being ice a little bit, but... I'm thinking he's like not finished carving this wall. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh shit. Turn up, everybody. And then maybe I could put like an indication of where the couch is. How does that look again? First, to make my life a little bit easier, let me get this color. There we go. Yeah, he's only like partially walled off. Can't really tell. I just want the icicle color to be slightly different from the line color, which is just black. Also, I'll put like a... bottle or can here. I think like a... I'll do bottle. To indicate that he's been having a little problem. Yeah, this is not very much of his room that we're seeing, like, at all. Oh yeah, and then I was gonna put the couch in the background. Actually, I'm gonna be a little lazy. Where is it? There it is. Be lazy. Take a shortcut. If I didn't take shortcuts, you know, reasonable shortcuts. But if I didn't take those, then nothing I did would ever get done. And I wouldn't like that very much, so... You gotta sometimes. And I don't think you should feel bad about doing that. That's just my opinion! And the pumpkin is no longer on the couch, I decided, at some point. Because I got kind of tired of drawing it, even though it's cute. But so small. I usually don't, I try not to zoom in this much these days. Because if I did, then I would just be treating it like pixel art, and that's not exactly what I'm going for. But here we are. And I know not everybody came into his room, but I don't think anyone is on the couch anymore. Although it would be kind of funny if, like, the April Fool was sitting there just being like, what? But I don't think I'm going to do that. Oh yeah. There we go. And then I think in the coloring stage, I'll, like, maybe there's another, like, piece of trash over here. Oh, there's, like, a little cat toy. Yeah. Yeah, cute. Okay. Yeah, and then I'll put some posters on his wall. Or something. Maybe not that part of his room, but I feel like there needs to be something like poking out, or it would be like that. I don't want it to distract from the cat too much, but maybe like a calendar. Yeah, I'll do like a little calendar or something. But I'll do that a little later. Let's get through this. Now it gets real crowded over here. I kind of fucked myself. This might look bad. We'll see. But let's take it one thing at a time. I think I've gotten okay at drawing Santa. It used to frustrate me a little bit. Why'd I make him so hot? I'll be real. I made him really hot. His eyebrows are a really inconsistent shape, but I feel like that's something that probably no one will notice, except for me. But this is pretty much just for me anyway, so. Had to have this one on the playlist. Who do you think I am? I thought for a good few episodes, and they even acknowledged it in the show. Did you ever hear the Adventure Zone, their versus Dracula season? I thought it was really good, but I'm kind of a sucker for that genre, so I was set up for it a little bit, I think. But in any case, there was a good bit of time where I really thought that they were going to make the big twist of the season, that all along Dracula's evil plan was to enact or recreate the circumstances of the Monster Mash song, to perform the Monster Mash or something. It would have been funny. Oh, let me put my phone down so that it doesn't die. Ow, ow, ow. I let it sit for a bit. Not plugged in. My phone is totally fucked up. Which no one asked about, but the charging port broke, so I have to charge it using this MagSafe thing, but the MagSafe thing only works under very specific circumstances. So I can't really have it plugged in like at my desk. I can only have it plugged in like a few feet away from my desk, which sounds like not a problem, and it usually isn't, but it's a little bit easier for me to, since I'm sharing the whole desktop right now, I don't really want to like, yeah, pull up the chat. But nobody's here anyway, so joke's on me. Oh, wait. He's fluffy. Santa of Claus. Probably overdoing it here, but kind of like Santa to be a little bit more detailed than everybody else for some reason. There's not really a good thematic reason for it, but oh god, I gotta get his big fucking ear. Maybe I can kind of make, yeah, That kind of works. That negative space. Been there. I always draw his hat like too far over, so I gotta like nudge it. Same with his gay husband. In the next page, which I don't have anything drawn for yet, but in the next page, you get to see all their funny Halloween costumes. And I'm excited about that. I do have to make a lot of character design decisions there because I'll have to draw them in those for a while. So I cannot make them too punishing on myself, and I may well change entire, characters' costumes from the ones that I have written down and plan to do. If I find that they're too annoying. Draw our boy now. Little wing, little tail. Just trying everything I can to avoid these speech bubbles, which I have kind of made a problem for myself. Heard the song at the clinic today. Giving him these little, like, jowls a lot. I don't know why. I also keep wanting to give him his neck beard, but it really doesn't have a reason to show up, and it looks kind of weird when it's not a close-up. Basically, it's just anything but a close-up. But I still try to get it in there. Hopefully it doesn't look too weird. But the neck beard is an important facet of his character, I think. First heard this song in a TikTok Gravity Falls edit. I think this worked. Let's see. Oh, that is such a small little connection there. I really should have just made them one bubble, but I'm still learning a lot about lettering and everything. I frequently look at pages of Krampus 2. I think it's right here. And I really want to like re-letter the whole thing. Yeah, there's the first drawings of Santa that I did. Looks weird. The Krampuses look good, I think. For the most part. That one's a little weird. Anyway. Yeah, I kind of want to re-letter this sometimes and give it the bold italics. Because I feel like that does a lot for at least the way that I read it in my head. But also, I'm the one who wrote it, so I don't know. But it does a lot for me in, like, characters emphasizing certain words and establishing a way that they speak relative to others. Hopefully that little transition makes sense. I kind of want to do things like this more from carrying over from this panel down to that panel. Maybe it should be a straight line. How would that look? Or actually, maybe it should be this way. How would that look? Almost. Yeah, I think. Is that weird? I can't tell. Keep it that way for now. His eyebrows change a lot. Sometimes he doesn't have them, sometimes they're little, and sometimes they're like a basically unibrow. I know. Check it real quick. No. Just checking. I can tell these whiskers are gonna annoy me. The best example of this is the Easter Bunny, because he has a design. Where is he? I really like his design, but he annoys me to draw repeatedly, and also at like any other angle other than this, it just looks weird to me. But I just fell in love with this design so much that I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take that risk. And I did. And I'm regretting it. Facing the opposite way. I gotta remember that. I don't want him to look like pissed. I just want him to look the way that cats look. You know, just kind of casually aloof. Oh, I want a cat again. There's a lot of neighborhood cats I've been interacting with. Around these parts.
Meow. Meow, plankton.
I should have copied the... I should have made the whiskers a little bit easier to copy. Yeah, I think at this point probably no mariomon, unfortunately. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, he's a little pissed, but not overwhelmingly so. Just a little more. Oh, now that looks off center. Oh, it's the mouth. Oops. The April Fool is also supposed to be kind of cat-like, but in a completely different way. I don't think... Don't quote me on this. Because I haven't fully committed to this yet, but I don't think the Yule Cat Ulysses is a cherub. Like most of the rest of these guys are. It's just their species. Actually, before I do the tail, I'm gonna... that just slightly thicker. And I'll do the thing that I sometimes do to cheat the tails a little bit. But generally, I feel like it looks better when I don't do this. There we go. we're almost done. And also, I probably won't end up coloring this tonight, honestly. Because I am in a bit of pain. Don't want to have to deal with that later. I haven't seen Sinners yet, but this song is on the Halloween playlist because it asserts the same thing that Sinners appears to assert, given all that I've been seeing about it, which is that the Irish are scary. And I can say that because I'm Irish. That's not what this song is saying at all. This song is about a bad thing that happened. But just a little Irish humor. There will be more Irish humor in this very comic, actually. Pretty soon, there's going to be a leprechaun character named Blarney Stone. And he's a drummer. And I'm Irish, so I'm allowed. Remember that. When the woke mob fucking comes for me. Okay, this one I really misjudged how big these speech bubbles would need to be. So, oh, and also I fucked up again. Oops. I really misjudged how big this speech bubble would need to be. So, maybe it still doesn't need to be that big. In fact, this makes my life a little harder, but hopefully it'll make drawing Rudolph a little bit easier. I am drawing him in like the exact same pose that he's been in for a lot of this section of the comic. So I'm not really sacrificing that much, but still, I don't know. Yeah, you can barely even tell that that's smaller, but it just gives me a little bit more room for him. Okay, let's do that now. Also, let's save. Really need to set up an autosave function. Normally, if I'm going, like, symmetrical like this, I'll just, like, draw the entire half. Oh, I kind of like that eyeball. I'll just kind of draw this entire half. And then copy it over. But I'm trying to do that a little bit less so that the drawings look a little bit more alive. However, I may do it more because drawing this many characters this many times is kind of difficult. But I did it to me. I remember that whenever I complain about it. Rudolph's eyes can bulge a bit. Now, he looks very different from the model sheet drawing that I did of him many years ago. This is the same. These, well, that one isn't. And then that's the old design of the Easter Bunny. I still have that for some reason. But all of these except for Phil are from Krampus Carol, which is a few years ago. But yeah, he looks pretty different from that now. Sometimes I'll tweak things so that they're not 100% symmetrical. Not really in ways that most other people notice. Oh yeah, and I'll have to move him over for sure, so I can actually keep that little bit of his arm. For when I'll do that. I also constantly forget which way his antlers face. Because everybody has a different configuration for some reason. Should have just made them all the same. That should be a little higher. Oh yeah, Jesus, I gotta... big old ears. Um, okay, so the bubble is gonna have to go over him. That looks okay, I think. Yeah, I think that looks fine. You hear me exhale a lot. I am sighing. But a lot of the reason why I do that is because I hold my breath when I'm drawing sometimes, and I really shouldn't do that. It's a weird habit that I have. I don't know what is so climactic. David Diggs is a fascinating human being to me. Because he makes this, like, very critically acclaimed noise hip-hop project over many years and does a lot of, like, sort of undergroundy collaborations. And then, you know, correctly, but, you know, I wish it was for a different thing, even though I am a bit of a Hamilton apologist, not politically, but, you know, music and story-wise. Yes, it is very cheesy. And yes, obviously, there's a lot of inherent contradictions with its politics that make me a little sick, but anyway, then he gets on that, and then he's in fucking commercials all over the place, and like on Sesame Street. Feel a little similarly to him that I feel about Jeff Rosenstock. It's like if Jeff Rosenstock can get a job composing for a children's show, then surely they'll give my dumbass a cartoon someday. But I'm not holding my breath. Well, I did just establish I am holding my breath, but for different reasons. the song makes me think about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was a pretty good movie, I will say, actually. I'm kind of a James Gunn apologist, too, generally speaking. I think his Superman movie is probably going to be up my alley personally. But we'll see, I guess. I wish he would have thrown Vera a bone of People's Joker fame. Not that all trans people need to know about this movie or anything, but it's a funny way to start a sentence. But my ex knew his James Gunn's like niece or something in school, and at some point they were trans, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Don't know if that's still the case. But at some point my ex was scheming to tell said niece about the People's Joker once James got the job as the DC guy. I can't remember if he did tell them about that or not. I think maybe he fell out of contact with that niece. This is what living in LA is like, by the way. You're always like a couple degrees removed from somebody, but none of it is interesting at all, but you can't stop talking about it because it's like the weather. Yeah, again, his eyebrows are doing a weird lengthening and de-lengthening act here, but I'm also going to put the other wing over here, which I never do. And I can't forget his other ear. One of my great forgetful artist shames is that, and it's partially the reason why it was a not insignificant factor as to why I made the video version of the first Krampus. I'll say that. But in the original Krampus zine, and I think the one that's still up, on the last panel that was supposed to be all like dramatic and whatever, I forgot to draw his ears. And I only noticed that like way after I had already posted it and everything. I was like, fuck. I don't think anybody noticed. But I fixed that in, my point is that I fixed it in the video version. But I'm now a little hypersensitive to remember his ears. I promise soon I'll draw Ulysses in some more interesting poses. But I really just wanted him to be sitting there innocuously, which also hopefully makes it a little bit funnier that Umbra, I don't know how to pronounce his own name, my own character's name. You know, he's just sitting there, so it makes it a little bit funnier that Umbra was freaking out so much. I'm eepy. Got kind of rabbity feet right now, but I think that's okay. Yeah, they're a little flat, but I think I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And then also remember I guess we don't see his other arm. Sweet. Krampus is a cat guy. He loves his cat. But he still unironically says things like normies. Okay. I think this is good enough. All right. Yeah, I think that looks okay. I'll probably put like the little opening chasm of the cave like here and like here to kind of take up this negative space, but I'll do that in the coloring phase, which I will do tomorrow. Probably not on stream, and then I'll post this. Maybe tomorrow I'll do some mariomon. Sorry I didn't have it in me this time. I am really enjoying that game. Hopefully watching me play it is a little entertaining. Did his... Oh god. He has the pig bog things. Do I want to keep those? I guess they look okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, 1 second. I frosted his frickin' tips. Definitely gonna forget that. I think I've mostly been forgetting, and that's why I'm actually gonna do an idiot check for it right now. After I'm done with this. Okay, yeah, both of his feet, and then yeah, I'm gonna put that one up a little more. All right. I'm going to do a chest hair check. Yeah, see? I always fucking forget. He's got his little chest hairs. Very important. Not really, but... Okay. I'm gonna call this done for the night. Thank you for stopping by. Or if you're watching this asynchronously, thank you for stopping by in that way. A little peek into my twisted process. Yeah. Hopefully that was a little interesting, maybe. I love these guys. I think they're neat. Okay. Good night, and good luck. Let me play a sound.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Guilty of having weird ideas.